guys, welcome to the show finally.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to, make sure I had enough reps of episodes so that I could, properly be ready for you guys. So, no? Okay. So I think everyone wants to know this one question. Well, I thought so, but then you guys released a friggin' oyster beer and ruined my questioning because, now I have to address that. What happened? Is this on purpose, the oyster beer?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
okay.
It's actually a style of beer.
Yeah.
It's traditionally in the same style as like a sweet stout.
Okay.
You want me to go into the history?
Go for it.
Okay. So a long time ago, we didn't drink super fizzy light beer. Actually, porters were the most popular beer you could drink. And porters were named porters because the lowly porter used to drink them. And oysters were super, super cheap. You could get, a pint of porter and, pay next to nothing for oysters because it was just kind of a throwaway food.
Yeah.
So porter and oysters kind of went hand in hand for a long time. They're not real sure when it happened, but some brewery at some point in Britain put oysters, probably just the shells at first, into the beer. Huh. But then eventually the whole oyster went in. And people think it's going to, is it going to taste like fish? Right. It has a very slight briny character to it, but other than that, it tastes like a stout.
So a real oysters go in there. It's not some artificial weird flavoring and real. Yeah. So if you have a shellfish thing or something or whatever that is, the seafood issues, don't drink that beer.
No.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Dropping knowledge already.
That's right.
Guys, bringing it. Now, my main question was when's Positronic coming back?
We were actually talking about that the last couple days.
We were.
Sweet.
When that's going on the schedule. So it'll be summertime.
Yes.
Yep.
I missed it last year.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorites. The rotating seasonal ones, and it's those are always fun.
Yeah.
Just because I guess it's probably fun for you guys too to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's and you always have to kind of plan out a few beers to go if you're going to get a new yeast strain in. You want to kind of plan a couple beers around that. So Positronic this year we might bring back Axis, which was a Belgian quad.
Yeah. Oh, see.
Yeah.
Those are my two. So I'm very happy that we had this chat.
And we might barrel age some of it too. So,
okay.
The last time we did it, we barrel aged some, and it turned out excellent. So
nice.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do that again.
Okay. So do you do more of the? You're in the back making the beers, right? I mean, you're the
yes.
So Nick, you're handling you're stirring the whatevers.
Yeah. So
I'm not positive on what goes on back there. I assume there's some robots.
Yeah, there's lots of robot talk.
Yes.
No actual robots, but I'm officially head brewer now. That's my title. Founder, head brewer.
As founder, you can give yourself whatever title.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But now I don't have to stick my nose into QuickBooks all the time.
Oh, man.
So it's a lot more fun to just brew. That's what I've always wanted to do anyway. So
yeah, it's got to be frustrating for you to, because I assume this is like a goal, of a long time to have a place you can make your beer, and then all of a sudden, you have to do businessy stuff.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of businessy stuff. So it's nice to go back to just brewing and recipe creation and that kind of stuff. So
yeah. So is it? And you guys had sold some of the. I'm not familiar with the terms or whatever. You can talk about anything you want to, but you sold some of the business part of all.
All of the business, yeah. Okay. So I'm sure people probably want to hear it from our mouths, but we
we really like making stuff up. It's pretty awesome. I've heard so many things about you guys.
We sold the business to the parent company that also owns Fall City in Louisville. So now we're kind of a sister brewery with Fall City, which made a lot of sense. we personally, as you know, the Davidsons were kind of running out of money. I mean,
yeah,
that's what happens when you run a business.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
I get that.
With Fall City and the history here, it made a lot of sense to join forces. At one point, Fall City was probably one of the most popular beers in Evansville. So,
wow, really?
That's true.
There's an old story about how Sterling at one point was more popular in Louisville, and Fall City was more popular in Evansville.
Yeah.
And they were kind of competing breweries. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
So with the history, it made sense. And you know, they can keep us going a lot longer than we could have.
Well, good. Very excited to see that everything was that I could actually go there again, because buying the beers at the store is not as cool as coming in and seeing you guys.
Exactly. So. Yeah. And we're glad to have the tap room back open. And,
for sure.
And
just having that personal, you know.
Yeah, are you still doing the food trucks on occasion there too? Or I guess it's been a little chilly to do that.
It's been a little cold. Yeah. But we might bring that back, you know, as spring.
Yeah, that was a good, interesting twist there too. Okay. So just being able to go in there and come in second on a Christmas sweater thing. I don't know, whatever. But not bitter still.
So
it's fine.
Pretty though.
Yeah, it was a good
sweater.
Christmas sweater.
Pretty. That's the word. Yeah.
Oh no, I was thinking of was that the Christmas sweater?
Yeah, with the
with
cat.
The pink.
Yeah,
it was
it was that pink.
Yes.
Yeah, and the cat was you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Anyway. Yeah.
We have pictures.
It was robbed. I was robbed. Yeah. So you get to still pick your beer flavor. I mean, there's no like approval process or anything. You can do pretty much whatever kind of beers you want still.
We still operate as Tin Man. Like, we were talking about new recipes today, so we're going to continue doing that stuff. The added bonus is now we're making a lot of Fall City's beer at our brewery, so we've been extra busy. They package everything in 12-ounce cans. We're in 16-ounce cans, but our canning line, we can actually flip-flop back and forth, so we can do package in 12 and 16-ounce cans. So, you know, we're brewing their stuff, we're packaging their stuff, we're brewing our stuff and packaging our stuff. Wow. So it's almost like we doubled in size.
Man. So, Sarah, you still doing like a lot of the social media then?
Yeah, I'm still involved in like advertising and marketing, social media stuff. I work with Cameron in the tap room to plan events for tap room stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of that.
Yeah, that thing that we just had with the where people were reading the stuff they wrote as children.
How fun was that?
That was good. Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So more stuff like that. Then you're maybe do little weird event things like that.
Exactly.
That's cool. And then trivia, you guys still do that on Sundays.
It's killing it. Yeah, it's done really, really well.
Yeah.
Is there a beer that you haven't tried making yet that you want to? Is there some kind of weird concoction out there?
Well, we've been starting to experiment with like the oyster stout that we just did. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's easily scalable. To put into package, but I recently did a Kolsch that we're going to put on tap in the tap room soon. We're doing a lot of kind of small batch stuff and kind of seeing what we want to ramp up. So we did the grapefruit goza, forbidden.
That's how you say it.
Yes.
No one could tell. And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, you'll hear goes a lot.
That's what I heard.
Technically, it's goza.
Goza.
So
I'm gonna be super
anybody's
smart right
ever wondered how to say that word, it's goza.
Goza. Okay.
But we released that in package in cans last summer, and it did really well. So I think that's probably going to be another one of our seasonals.
Cool.
And then we are more than likely going to do key lime in our Weld series. Key lime has been the spring release, and we're going to put that out in cans this year. Last year we did it just draft only.
Yeah.
But this year we're going to do it in cans.
Cool. The sours have been
Oh yeah,
crazy.
I like doing sours a lot.
I've heard it's like, is it a lot more difficult than a normal?
It's well,
or whatever normal is.
Typically,
beers, I guess. I don't
what
know.
we're doing, they're called kettle sours. So we're souring. It's a quick sour. We actually inoculate the beer in the brew house. So it ages or it's on bacteria for at most 3 days. But it's lactobacillus, and it drops really low in pH. So that's where the sour comes from.
Okay.
But because it stays in the brew house, we don't have to worry about an infection in the rest of the brewery, because bacteria is not something you want anywhere else. So
Bad news.
it's fine in a
No
sour,
joke, right.
but in a regular beer, it's bad. So because it stays in the brew house, and before the kettle, we boil in the kettle, so it's going to kill anything that's in. It's going to kill that bacteria.
Sure, yeah.
So that's the only kind of sour we really do in the brewery right now. We have an offsite facility where we do a few barrel projects, but it's kind of a nerve-wracking thing to bring lactobacillus or Brettanomyces or some of these things that can infect your brewery. You don't really want to do them unless you have an offsite place that's sour only,
Okay.
which we don't have. So, but we have done a few sours, barrel-aged sours that turned out really nice.
Yeah, that one last summer or fall was really good.
Yeah, the insane in the mainframe.
Yeah.
And are you running out of terms for
no.
robots and computers? Do you have plenty of that? Okay.
No, there's a lot of days where we just walk around and we'll bounce names off of each other, just kind of coming up with lists of stuff.
Yeah.
All right,
We have
okay.
a list on our
You're
phones. Yeah.
huge
Oh, yeah.
document.
And thanks to shows like Futurama, and there's always you're always gonna have some to draw from.
Get a Mrs. Robot instead of Mr. or something.
Yeah, right.
Oh man. So are you still doing the glass where you have artists do different
We
designs?
We have not. Yes, we're doing it. We're getting there, getting it back up and running. So, but yes, I actually have a new one to submit. So it should be coming out in the next few weeks.
Nice.
And yeah, if you have listeners out there that are artistic and would like to submit their design to us, we are always looking for more artists. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that is a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah.
That's cool. One thing I've noticed about the beer people for lack of a better term, the beer community in
Yes.
Evansville, you guys are, on the surface at least, seem like you get along. I know there's competition, but then there's collaboration too, where you like the E is for Everyone beer, the Jimtown Hoppy Brown.
Yes.
Thank you, which was a great beer, and this the way that you guys will collaborate on that is that normal with beer makers where they will collaborate?
Yeah. When you go to bigger cities, there's so many breweries. Like, let's just use Indianapolis,
Sure,
for
yeah.
instance. There's so many breweries there, and they all kind of hang out. They're all buddies. There's less here. We still see each other all the time, but there's, I guess, just a little less opportunity to do those things because we don't have as big of a audience, I would say, just because Evansville's a little smaller than Indy.
Sure.
So we can't get together and do a collab every other month because people would get tired of that. But we do like to collab. I mean, that is kind of a normal thing. We all genuinely like each other. It's like anytime you meet somebody that does the same thing you do, you're typically going to be friends with them, not competitors. Like we all are selling our beer and hoping you buy more of ours than theirs, but
Just one more, right?
Yeah, right. But just one more. Yeah, I mean, that's really kind of how it is. I mean, we all want each other to do well. So that's, I mean, there is a big spirit of collaboration in this industry. Unfortunately, that series, we had this whole plan for that, and then things kind of changed around, with Petrowski moving on to Docs, and
so how dare he?
Yeah, and,
ruined everything.
Yeah. Well, Josh was always really good at getting us all together, so we kind of lost that when he went to when he opened his own business, which is awesome, and we all are really proud of him. But
might be the best wings in town.
Really? Yeah.
It's awesome. Pretty good.
We don't get to go to bars anymore.
Hey, family room.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, until
I should have known that.
Yep, but yeah, you can do it.
All right.
So you run out of excuses. You just hate Josh. Is that what it is?
But we want to bring that back, and what our plans were with that was to sort of do homages to different areas of town, and so with Petrowski being in that sort of area, and that was his contribution from Tironi. So the goal was to also have each brewery come up with a recipe every time we did this. So, and then we were going to kind of switch off where we brewed it to. Carson's and us have the biggest breweries, so it was really going to kind of flip back and forth. And I'm talking like this is all ended, which it probably hasn't. We just have kind of slowed down our releases with this, but we plan to keep doing it. It was a fun get together. It's always fun when we all get to go brew at somebody's brewery, and hopefully the next time, because we did this one at our brewery, hopefully the next one would be at Carson's.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I always wondered how that went around. It's like, you got a bunch of creative people, but they all have your way of doing things.
Yes.
I don't know how much difference there is between.
Well, and with breweries collaborating on that topic, like we see each other all summer long because there's so many beer festivals. So we literally can see every brewer week after week really in the summertime. So we get to be pretty good friends with everybody.
Right.
And so I know there's a lot of kind of groups in indie that hang out together, like well, you're going up to do the Pink Boots thing soon.
Yeah, that's coming up. That's actually Thursday. So what that is, Pink Boots Society is it's a group to promote in lady brewers or women in the industry.
Okay, sure.
And Thursday is International Women's Day. So they plan this every year. They do this every year where they do a collaboration brew, and they get the local groups get together. So women from every brewery, and what's awesome is going to be so many people from different Indiana breweries going to this, and we're going up to Indianapolis on Thursday to brew at Sun King.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so some of the other breweries involved besides Tin Man is Taxman, Scarlet Lane, Black Acre, Three Wisemen. So
where's Taxman?
Taxman's in Bargersville, Indiana, which is just south of Indianapolis by about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we constantly get confused.
If the Taxman, if they're listening right now, they know.
Yeah.
They do too. It's fine.
There's a funny story where it was either Leah or Nathan were on television. They were on live television, and the person interviewing said, "I really love that apricot sour that you guys do."
They're just like,
she goes, "That's
thanks.
Not us. That's freaking Tin Man."
Freaking Tin Man.
Yeah.
One more time.
But yeah, so
that's funny.
That's a really cool thing, though, that the Pink Boots Society.
Yeah. So, and that's something too. Like when we do the brew, each participating brewery will get to bring back some beer. So once it's done in about a month, I'll be able to have some of the beer that we're creating on tap here at Tin Man.
Cool.
When proceeds will go back to Pink Boots.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you said about a month. Is that the normal time for beer to be ready?
It depends on the beer.
Depends on the style.
Lagers typically take longer. That's why you don't see a lot of craft breweries doing a lot of lagers. There's really two kinds of beer. There's ale and lager. Ales can be done fermenting in 7 days, whereas a lager takes it takes a lot longer, usually a month to be done. So, but yeah, have they said what style they're doing? Or?
Oh yeah, we're gonna do a white IPA with hibiscus.
Oh,
Yeah.
we did a white
Fancy.
IPA.
Well, now we're gonna do a white
Yeah.
IPA.
Lie there.
So yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited. I can't wait to see because there's so many ladies coming together from all over the state, and just to be able to talk with them throughout the whole process, I think is going to be a lot of fun. And you better believe I'm going to be taking pictures of everything.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
You already do anyway.
I do. My phone is ridiculous.
Yeah, you have to get a bigger, thicker phone to have all
Oh my gosh.
all the pictures.
Yeah.
So-
It's crazy.
So people, what are the most common questions you guys get? Either is it like, what's your favorite beer, or is
Yes.
it
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
when is blah 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 coming back?
It's probably what's your favorite beer.
Yeah. So what's your favorite beer?
I always say for me, it depends on my mood. What mood I'm in.
Yeah.
Today was a rivet mood, obviously.
Yeah.
But it always changes. It's
Yeah, I mean, I kind of follow the pattern that a lot of people do, where I'll drink lighter stuff in the summertime when it's hot,
yeah.
Sure.
and darker stuff in the wintertime. But I always don't. I don't always follow that rule. Sometimes I feel like a stout, and it's June. I'm not doing that while I'm mowing the lawn,
No,
but
no.
but at night, when you're sitting on the porch, stout's not always bad. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to ask a brewer what their favorite beer
What's your favorite
is.
kid
Yeah.
kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you have one, but you don't want to say. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys have cans, and I think I know the reason why, but see, people listening might not know because they're using bottles. But there's a reason you guys went with cans, right?
Yes.
Over bottles.
Yes.
Yeah, there's some aspects of cans that are better for beer in general. Light is bad, UV light specifically, which is what most fluorescent lights give off. So when your beer is in a bottle sitting on a shelf in a liquor store, it's picking up UV light, and that's where skunk, the term skunk beer
Gotcha.
comes from.
Sure.
That happens from light struck beer. Oxygenation happens too. Bottles seal with a crown, a bottle cap.
Yeah.
And you get a little better seal with a can, so you don't get oxygen absorption into the beer. And oxygen can come out as sort of a cardboard flavor when something is oxygenated. But then also, aluminum is infinitely recyclable. You can always take a can and turn it back into another can. So that was another big reason why we went with cans.
Right.
Bottles now, I mean, there's a lot of places that actually don't take glass anymore to recycle, really? Because it's cheaper to make a new bottle than it is to take a glass bottle and recycle it. So, and then there's shipping implications. It's lighter, so it costs less to ship.
Right.
Now, unfortunately, there's tariffs that are possibly going to happen with steel and aluminum.
Well,
so, yeah.
We'll see.
So we'll see what
I think
happens.
this whole conversation, forget it. We're going to bottles.
Yeah. I doubt that's going to happen. But yeah, we might see the price of aluminum go up. So we're all kind of not sure what's going to happen.
Cool.
But, yeah, it's not the first time I said thanks, Trump, but
Yeah.
this is definitely one of those times you can say
Yeah.
it.
You're like, hey, buddy.
This is, yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole other. We can.
Yeah,
right.
We don't
We
want
don't
to.
want to.
not go
Yeah,
down
we're
that
losing listeners.
Well,
I doubt
and also
it.
too, why we chose to do 16 ounces, because it's a perfect pint. So you can pour
Right.
that can right into your own pint glass, and
Yeah, and throughout history, beer has typically been served in pint form. So
Yeah. Perfect.
That's why we liked 16 ounces as opposed to the 12 ounce. But
yeah, it's the bigger size. Like it was funny when we went to Soup Fest at Philly Hoops.
Yeah.
And there's like a keg of Tin Man on tap. I was like, what is happening here? Like, I don't know.
He's done that the last probably 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He goes all out for it. But yeah, it's just interesting. I don't know. I just never thought to ask for a keg from you guys. But is that something that happens frequently, or?
Yeah, we...
or not? More than I would think, apparently.
We do it a couple times a month.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, most... to-go beer is any container, so we gotta slap a sticker on there that's a government warning. But yeah, you can come in and purchase a keg if you want.
Interesting.
There's a keg deposit, and then when you bring the keg back, we give you that deposit back. And yep,
cool.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. And people do it a lot when they have like a kegerator at home.
Yeah,
that's who you usually see come in and buy a keg.
That makes sense. How long does the beer stay good for in the keg?
It again kind of depends on the beer, but you usually have a good 4 months.
Wow.
And then depending on the style, like Tsar, which is our Russian Imperial Stout, that's good for years.
Forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But Damascene, like you probably don't want to age.
Yeah.
You really shouldn't age a lot of beers unless they're darker and
Right.
high in alcohol anyway.
okay.
Like
If
occasionally
they're
we'll
hoppy.
see people that say like, "Oh, I'm aging this Damascene." It's like, well, please don't
please
do
stop
that.
doing
Don't do that.
that.
Or if they're hoppy, if they're IPAs, you don't want to age them.
Okay.
Yeah, IPAs definitely because hops degrade over time.
Yeah.
So something that's super hoppy, a year from now is probably just going to taste like really malty, just kind of oxidized, not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
But stouts are perfect for aging. You get a high ABV stout and age it, and it can get you can pick up characters that weren't there originally. And
So there's a couple of Evansville-centric questions I like to ask people.
Sure.
If you don't mind. What is a hidden gem in Evansville that people may not know about, but you're like, people need to know about this?
let me see.
Hidden gem.
I bet people typically answer with a restaurant too, right?
A lot of times,
Yeah.
but there's been other
We
things.
seem to be,
But we
very
like the food.
food-focused.
We do like our food.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I kind of have to. Well, I don't have to, but a PG right next door to us would be, in my opinion, one
for
of
sure.
Evansville's biggest hidden gems.
Yep. The food.
I mean, the type of music too that they're bringing in is not typical Evansville.
It is not.
Yeah, I mean, and certain nights I would go over others. I mean, but everybody's musical tastes are different, and they have such a wide range of music that comes
it's
through
crazy
there too.
range. Yeah.
But then the food out of there is excellent as well.
So good.
Yeah, so I mean, mine would be
PG.
PG for sure.
For sure. I agree. I think so too.
And that's also my brother. So.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
So you did have to say it.
I didn't have to, but yeah.
Yeah. I do think, and maybe this isn't hidden, but I really think like on Franklin Street, Kite and Key, the breakfast.
Right.
It's pretty spot on.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff on Franklin.
We do. It's
we ate
neat to see.
at Franklin Street Pizza Factory today.
Today. Their sandwiches are the bomb. So yeah, it's neat to see how Franklin Street has changed over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
how much more is coming up there. So
Yeah.
that whole street.
That's true.
Yeah.
And the other half of that question is, what is something that you wish Evansville had? This is where we usually get more of the non-restaurant stuff. But yeah, is there something that you wish we had? And you guys have traveled a lot through at least through the Tin Man stuff. You've seen other cities and stuff they have. Is there anything that pops up, or it could be anything though.
I would. One of the things would be I wish we had more breweries.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have per capita. We don't have the amount that most places do, and I think that has to do a little bit with our beer culture here. We still are the Busch Light capital of the world.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and it really surprises people, but like Budweiser is king everywhere except Evansville, where Busch Light is king.
Right.
So we still have a lot of that, and some of it is like I don't get this fancy beer. Like I don't understand why beer's got to be fancy, and it's like, well, it's not fancy. We're brewing styles that were brewed hundreds of years ago.
Right.
This isn't new stuff. We're not making stuff up. This is stuff that was brewed a long time ago. So I would like to see us, sort of a sea change with that, and I'd like to see more breweries. I think, there's rumblings of more smaller nano breweries that are possibly going to happen, and you might see just the overall change in breweries be less production breweries like what we are, or what Carson's is, and more of sort of your neighborhood nano brewery,
like the brew house.
Yeah, like Evansville Brew House. Yeah, and I think we need more of those here.
Yeah.
I also probably would have said barcades if we would have been on.
Right, not that long ago, right?
It's happened. Yeah, that's happening.
It's happening now.
Yeah.
I think I'll say just more. I would love, and I know it's been on the plan forever, but Evansville Trails. I would love to see like that full circle complete, and it connect the Greenway to connect out to USI. I think that is so important and would make such a difference here. I would love to see that happen.
Yeah. That would be cool. Because the Greenway is awesome already. And then, to go all the way out there and connect it tip to Newburgh.
Yeah.
Heard that, so yeah.
I know it's in planning.
Yeah, who knows? In our lifetime, maybe.
Yes, maybe.
We'll see. We'll see.
But yeah, if we could make that happen sooner, that would be awesome.
That's cool. Well, thanks guys for coming. I
Thank you.
appreciate
no
I'm
problem.
glad it finally worked out.
Yeah.
We'll try not to make too long before you're on again.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And thanks for the presents.
Yeah.
Oh, anytime.
Don't say that. All right. Thanks.
Cheers.
Good job, everybody.